Okay, now we're good. Okay.
Yeah. So the
But
last
yeah,
thing I heard was that you visited the Kia dealership.
yeah. So I went to the Kia dealership and he tried to say, oh, they get built, they show up, and that's what we have. And so I was confused on like, well, I want this specific model, specific trim, specific color. And I understand, oh, if it has mud guards or not, that's easy to add later. I'm not as concerned about that.
Yeah.
Um, but you can't change the trim level. You can't change heated seats later.
Yep.
So yeah, talk me through how that works, how that actually works
Sure,
for
sure. So,
people.
a great point. So, with respect to any particular vehicle, let's say here in your case, Kia Telluride, what you're looking at, right? Very important. It is the make, model, and the trim. And after
Yep.
that, it is there are three types of options which are getting installed in any vehicle. One is a factory installed options, which we cannot get it in the market. The second one is dealership installed options, which is optional, right? Whether you want it, whether you don't want it, so we can pick and choose depending upon what features or what particular accessories you are looking at. And then the third one is accessories or aftermarket installed option, AFIO, right? Which are some of the options which you can walk into any OEM or any particular dealership or even like Jiffy Lube or discount tires per se and get it installed. So we always recommend whenever we are engaged and whenever we are looking at a particular specific options is to look at only factory installed options because those are the ones which will not be able to change or will not be
Yep.
able to add later on, right? And even if we try to add later on, it will impact your warranty if it is going to link it with any of the electronics or any of the system driven engineering per se. So we have to be very cautious on that front. Now you have understood it pretty well. Anytime you are looking for a very specific vehicle, the way we do the work is in two parts. Number one is that we look at all the inventory options which is out there. So we source and screen and curate from 23 different online platforms. Some of them are not even publicly available. So those are premium platforms where we pay the monthly annual membership fee to have access or the first dips of the new inventory which is coming up in the market. The second one is doing an extensive outreach to all the Kia dealerships within 50 miles, 100 miles, 200 miles, 500-mile radius of your zip code, and then letting them know that this is the exact build what we are looking at. So first we'll go to the Kia USA website. We'll select all the model and the trim and the colors and the options what you're looking at. So that
Yep.
becomes our build or what we call a window sticker. So it will have the MSRP listed on that. So that
Yep.
becomes our gold standard. So we are a completely inventory light model. So we do not have any Kia vehicles to sell to you. That means
Right.
that we are not going to push anything what you don't need
Right.
like a dealership. Our
Yep.
goal is to be your consultant, to be
Yep.
working for you and on your behalf to get the exact Kia vehicle from a Kia dealership in a best and the lowest negotiated price. Correct. So this is the two-pronged approach what we do. And wherever and however we find those options, then we go into the next level, whether the vehicle is in transit, whether it is on the lot, or it's going to be built. If it is at the dealership, great. Then it's all about making sure collecting the photos and the videos. No, dealerships are very smart. They list vehicles they don't have just to generate the interest, right? And then push people to just walk in and then try to sell what they don't, what they want to sell it for that given day. So we don't get into that fallacy. We'll never ask you to visit any dealership whatsoever till the very final one, what we choose and finalize. And it's an iterative and a very interactive process where you will get an update from our entire curation and the client management team on a daily basis. Plus, there'll be three tiers of, I would say, the messaging and the communication which you will have so that you are always in the loop. And we will shop on your behalf. So none of the dealership will ever get to know that this is for James till the final hour. So you will not be bombarded or inundated with multiple calls, texts, or the salespeople saying it's the last day of the offer per se, right?
Sure.
So we know all of the nuances and the tactics. We are super grateful that we have been doing this for the past 4+ years now and have just crossed 1,000+ clients across the US and Canada. So
Excellent.
thank you.
Congrats. That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge. Creating that trust and creating that visibility in the market to ensure that people are comfortable delegating this entire process, which is not common, right? It's not a common part and parcel of our lives. But at the same time, we have to understand that this is the second largest purchase which someone does after their homes. So when in a home, you're looking for a broker or for an agent or for a company to take care of your purchase, to take care of your transactions. Why not in automotives? And
Yep.
so that's where we come into the play. And that being said, so this is the process. If it is not at the dealership, then we look at the allocation. A lot of dealerships will just randomly say that they have a location and they will be able to do it. But we know what I would say the language which we have to use, where we have to hold their hand, what kind of information which we have to elicit from them to understand whether they are bluffing or whether they actually have the allocation in place. If we validate that they have the allocation to put this order for you, James, today, then we go ahead with anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 refundable deposit. They'll come
Yep.
back and say that, hey, it's non-refundable, blah, blah, blah. We don't fall again into that fallacy. And what we do is we always do go for allocation at two different dealerships to ensure that we are not putting all the eggs into one basket, but with a written confirmation that we can cancel from the other dealership at any given point in time with a complete 100% refund. So, but all of this will be reviewed, will be discussed with you, will
Yep.
be once you consent and approve, then only we take those steps. We do
Yep.
not let the dealership run your credit application or any finance application even before the vehicle comes at the lot, right? They will say,
That
yeah,
was
yeah. Uh,
They said that when we were at the dealership, like, oh yeah, we just need $1,000 down, and then we got to run a credit check. And I'm like, why do you need to run a credit check? We're not buying anything yet.
correct.
And I'm like, this, I'm going to be writing a check. This is, you don't run my credit. Just take the check.
They,
So, okay, so that kind
they
of makes
do
sense.
it to create a lock and key because now they have run a hard inquiry. You will feel that, okay, your 5 points are deducted out of your credit score. And they're like, okay, I don't want to run it at another dealership. And then you
Yep.
get into that model that, okay, let me
It's
just
a
go
good
ahead
tactic.
with them. Yeah.
I don't like it, but it's a good tactic.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. So,
okay, one concern that we have, and it's because it's a brand new car,
yeah.
that's you can't go look at today. That's part of our problem.
Hmm.
Everything we've seen online is it's really the color that I'm nervous about.
Hmm.
Uh, so there's this matte brown that they have,
Okay.
but it's just the 2027 Tellurides in this brown. So no one has it. I can't go anywhere local and look at it in person. Everything looks great on computers. Other people have videoed them. I really like it, but I'm a little nervous. So is my wife that we buy something or, put money down, show up and we're like, ooh, not quite what I had expected. And then you're like, well, learn to love it.
Hmm.
So in this situation, deposits are refundable until we sign on the bottom line and receive the car, correct?
No, deposits are refundable till it goes into the build at the factory.
Okay.
Okay,
Got it.
so
Got it.
good question, and
Good.
I'm glad that you are asking this at this given point in time. So you put down a deposit, the dealership has the allocation window, and the number of allocations are set at every dealership, especially for a future model, which is the 2027 in your case. So they will take your deposit, they will put it in the system that, okay, 2027 Kia Telluride HEX, okay, for James.
Yep.
Now it will go to the factory, but the factory also has a backlog, right? So maybe in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, we'll have to check the timeline because you are ordering a 2027. So we don't have the visibility on that. But once we have the visibility, then a factory, a day or two before it is going to go into the production, will again cross verify with the dealership that should they proceed with this order, because it costs them the labor, the parts, supplies,
Yep.
assembly, all of that, right? So the dealership have to consent. So at that time, the dealership will call to you or to us and say, does the factory go into production? And at that time, we have to say yes or no. So if we
Okay.
say no, then it's a loss to the dealership because they lost on that allocation, because it was limited for them and they were going to make some margins during that entire transaction process. That's why 99% of the dealership will say the deposits are non-refundable, because they only want to use their allocation
Yep.
wisely.
Yep.
Okay. But we know how to make it possible that we can have a refundable deposit. But
Okay.
the moment it goes into the production, then
Yep.
your deposit is not refundable. But you can
That
always
makes sense.
cancel. Let's say if the production happens, all of that
Yep.
happens, the car gets in transit, the car arrives at the dealership, they will call us or they will call you. You walk in and you say, hey, I don't like it. Then whatever you have made the payment, 2,500, $5,000, they will
Yep.
forfeit. And what the dealership will do, they will immediately list across all the platforms. They'll reach out to their prospects and try to sell it in the market.
They'll sell it in a day.
Yeah.
Our local dealers, they cannot keep the Tellurides on the lot. They come
Yeah,
in,
the
they sell them. It's like,
Tellurides are very, very popular. We had one very specific couple who wanted, uh, that the space, metallic space gray as their exterior, and the orange color. I'm forgetting the name. It was just on the top of my mind,
yep.
but let me just pull it here.
I've got
Yeah, it took us a lot of time to find it, but they were super happy afterwards. Yeah, terracotta. Terracotta as the
yeah.
interior. Yes.
I got the little brochure. Let me grab that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, now this new one, they got like a Tuscan umber and butter brown, all the weird ones. Yeah, and then another question we had, which it's hard to get much information because not a lot of information is available on this car yet.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the option packages, this executive package,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not clear if that forces you into a specific interior color.
Let me just check a little quick over here for you.
Yeah, because it looks like the black is available. It kind of says like black available on everything for interior, but then it shows, and I got this guide. If you see this one,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
looks like that. You got, the stuff on the
Okay.
back, but it shows that it's the color trim is only on the executive package,
Mm.
and it's this thing called blackberry and sand. It's purple. There's no getting around it. It's purple. Don't want a purple interior car.
Yes, not at all.
So it's like, does that come in black? If it comes in black, excellent.
Yes.
But generally, like black should be available. Like every trim should have a black interior.
Yeah,
That's what I want.
every trim has black interiors. That's not a problem.
But
I'll
even
show
with
you.
the
Uh, let,
executive, yeah,
let me share my screen real quick here.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Let me zoom in. It's on a larger screen, so let me just zoom in real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is where it gets tricky, where
Hmm.
nothing on the Kia website has you can't build out the hybrids yet,
You can. There is an option. Let me just show
unless
you.
it happened yesterday.
Okay. Hybrid electric. Okay, so they don't have it. I just
Yeah,
noticed 1 minute there was a turbo which we could build. Turbo hybrid, yeah, over here. Just a second, let me just do that. Available as hybrid. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it's not there yet. You're right.
yeah. It's not that.
Okay.
It's saying it. The local dealer said, "Oh yeah, we're going to get cars in early April is when they're
Mm-hmm.
going to start getting them, on the lot."
Okay.
So you'd think by that point, Kia would have the build tool ready. Uh, but I guess that's a question we can figure out because those dealers would have a different. Well, we can't build the window sticker yet because the build tool's not
The
ready.
build tool is not ready. Yeah, you are looking for HEX. Now I understand it's a hybrid EX model what you're looking at, right?
Well, yeah. So very specific one is the SXP X line.
Okay.
So basically the nicest hybrid.
Yep, that's the prestige one what you're looking at. And then the X line.
Yeah,
So it's the top of the line. Yep.
yeah. It's the fully loaded one. Yeah,
Fully loaded one, yeah.
yeah. And then they've got the executive package, which gives you just really nice seats.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Let's look at.
yeah.
Yeah, so then we just have to exactly how you pulled that information by visiting
Yep.
the dealership. We do the same by just calling multiple Kia dealerships and seeing which one has the maximum information available at this given point in time. So then
Yep.
that way we can understand that how it would look like, and then at what price point or what packages we can add to the top of it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Do you expect that they're going to have dealer markups, or is this really we're negotiating off MSRP when we do this?
No, so they always start with the markups. They'll say blah blah blah, limited inventory, supply chain
Yep.
shortage, hybrid models, one of a kind. I can go on. So,
Yeah.
but we just let them complete the 7 to 10 minutes of the sales pitch, and then we say we need to get the lowest price. What is the
Yeah.
price you can offer so that we can go ahead and put down the deposit, right? And our team does that despite all the AI and all the tech and all the automations in place. This is the place where me coming from a huge tech background, we are not able to do anything on that. It is very, very rudimentary. It's like pick up the call, be on the
Yeah.
dealership line for like 10 minutes, let the person get on the call, escalate to the manager, escalate to the supervisor, escalate to the branch head, escalate to
Yeah.
director,
Yeah.
escalate to co-director, escalate to financier. It's a 1 hour call. After that, we move somewhere and we move the needle. So that's how the process is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then
Got
we just work with the people whom we know that they will have the leverage to work on the pricing. So we completely get rid of the front office or the like the associate levels salespeople
Yeah.
whom you meet as essentially when you walk into the dealership, because they are just the one who would just pull in the information or pull in the customers, but they don't have any I would say visibility as to what the pricing should be, how the pricing is getting factored in, etc., etc. So we pulled in the
Yeah.
right people, and then only we get that information, and we are very adamant to get all the pricing in writing so that they don't
Yes.
play the games, right? Because they will
Right.
say, yeah,
Right.
we will own a like we will respect your like 60K out the door. You walk in today, and then suddenly, oh yeah, that offer is gone, or that allocation is given to some other people. So we put
Right.
everything on an email or a dealership quotation signed by them with a date and stamp. And then we request you to walk in. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
That all makes sense. My next step is to make sure this is the one my wife wants, talk her out of the Volvo. I think this is the better car.
Okay.
And then at that point, I'll just reach back out to you. Uh, we'll figure out. So yeah, the deposit's not necessary until you find, because you're going to kind of like find two deals, do deposits at both deals
No, that
until they
is what
sync
we
up.
recommend. But if we say no, I'm fine with like one deposit at one place, that is also fine. I mean, it is just to increase the odds. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need the car tomorrow, thankfully.
Yeah, okay. Good.
Um, so we've got a little bit of flexibility on that.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner is better. And if tying up $5,000 at two places makes it come faster and I get that other 5 grand back, that's fine with me.
Yeah, yeah.
But we'll figure that out.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Also we just put that $5,000 or the deposit amount at the very, very end,
Yeah.
once everything is sorted out, once the markups have been taken out, once we are
Yeah.
at the MSRP or below MSRP, once we
Yeah.
have clarity of the allocation, we ask for the allocation number from the dealership. We look at what is the timeline look like. We call the Kia USA, right? We have a 800 toll-free number.
Nice.
So we'll call and we'll again cross-verify that how many allocations you have given to this particular city and this particular dealership, so
Okay.
that the dealership is also not bluffing. So we have a lot of ways to double check, cross-verify before we even reach to a point where we are putting down the deposit, right? And we put down the deposit through a credit card to make sure that if the dealership plays any games, then we can always file a dispute, and we put down an email, we CC like 5 people from the dealership. So all those nuances will take care of. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you use the American Express card. They'll just give you your money back.
Great.
Um,
Yes.
last question
Yeah.
was, I just had it. Talking through that. No, forgot it. We're good.
No worries.
Okay.
Yeah. So before we conclude, I'll just
Yep.
put in the last point that our fees is $1,000 all
Yep.
inclusive. $500 as we kick off the engagement, and $500 once you get the build, once you get the allocation, once you have the keys of your car in hand, and once we request a Google review from you, then we'll raise the second part of the invoice. Okay.
Yep. Got it.
Sounds good. Thank you, James. We look forward to
Yep.
serving
Thank you
you.
so
And
much.
if you and your wife wants to get on one more call where you want to see the action behind the scenes, how we curate, how we document, how we communicate, happy to do it.
Appreciate that.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye-bye.